everyone, my name is Dennis Asamoah, and I'm excited to introduce our new podcast called the FORVR Founders, where we interview great entrepreneurs that have gone through amazing journeys. We learn about their challenges, their tips, their tools that they use to be a great success for their business. I'm so excited to have Mariama, who is our first guest on our show. And as part of Black History Month, the goal is to interview inspirational entrepreneurs that are doing great things in the community.
Hello, my name is Mariama Diallo. I am the owner and founder of Sincerely Ria. Sincerely Ria is a women luxury brand based in Los Angeles that is colorful and vibrant. You can find us on sincerelyria.com or at sincerelyria.xo across all social media platforms. Thank you.
Welcome, Mariama. I'm excited to have you on our podcast. So this is actually a new series called FORVR Founders, and we're super excited to have you on board. This is special because you are the first person.
Wow.
And your journey is so inspirational, because I actually remember when you first started your brand. So it's actually great that I'm speaking to you, and I'm so excited to tap into your journey, the challenges, the tips, tools that you've used in order to be a success with your business. So let's just jump straight into it. Let's talk about you, the person. I know you do. You've got so many. You've done so many different things. You're an entrepreneur. You are an actress. You are a model. So, you are very diverse in terms of the level of skills and experience that you've had. So let's talk about why you started your brand, Sincerely Ria.
First of all, thank you. Congratulations on the new podcast. I'm excited to be one of the first ones. You know, I'm a fan of everything you guys do at FORVR. So thank you so much. This means a lot. As you know, it's interesting we're having this convos because you were one of the first that I spoke to when Sincerely Ria was just an idea. So we've had those conversations before. But as far as what inspired me, well, I came from a background of modeling for about 10 years. So that's 10 years of me wearing garments, trying on fabrics, being in these rooms while people were having fit meetings. And it's just, I always loved fashion. And I wanted to create something that was not only accessible and affordable, but comfortable for the audience that want something a little extra. They want to shine when they go out, and bring a mixture of something that's comfortable, but it's also sexy. It's also a little edgy, but it's also affordable, but it will last you a long time. So after all these years, I noticed there wasn't something like that on the market that you can keep wearing and be comfortable and feel good. So I was like, I think I can create these pieces. And that's kind of just how it started. And with all of the support of everyone who's been incredible, it grew into what it became.
Amazing. And when you think about the initial early days of your journey as an entrepreneur starting this business, as you know, you're going to have multiple hats. Which roles have you enjoyed the most, and which ones have been very challenging?
It's funny you say that, because yes, you do wear a lot of hats. I don't think anything can prep you for becoming a business owner, right? You can talk to people, you can listen to podcasts, you can do all the research, but nothing can really prep you for it. So one thing that I enjoyed from it has been the creative director part, because I come from art background. I enjoy thinking of the concept, thinking of the collection. I'm a big picture kind of person, so I enjoy that part. But what has been challenging is that you have to find the balance, especially when you're new and you're learning, because you can think big and stuff, but you also got to go down to the small details and scale it down. Think about pricing, think about how you can expand and sustain, and dealing with unforeseen circumstances, because they're bound to happen, and learning that too, that it's bound to happen, and just,
you can't avoid it.
You know, so it's been interesting. And I think for me, what's been helpful is that I'm good at switching between hats really quick, and is knowing that, yeah, I might be comfortable wearing this hat in my business, but it's still my business. So I have to learn and adapt as much as I can.
And in regards to wearing different hats, which one would you say has been the most challenging in terms of whether is it finance, is it maybe negotiating with vendors? Is there a specific part where you was like, okay, I wish I had someone else to do this and manage it?
You know what's crazy? Depending on when you ask me, my answer might actually change.
That's actually a very good point, because it's different.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because there was a time when I was just getting started. Like I said, I didn't really know that much going in. I was doing my research, I was reading online and trying to find manufacturers and asking friends. But during those points, I wish I knew someone, like the people I know now, for example, which I'm so grateful for to have on my team, that could be like, well, actually, this company will deliver on time versus this person, just little things. And then there's been times when I was like, when we're having conversations with, for example, bigger retailers and wholesales, and I'm like, I wish I knew a little more. But then again, even if I feel like sometimes even if you do know, you're still gonna wish you knew a little more. I don't know, imposter syndrome is such a real thing. So yeah, it changes, but I will have to say most of the things has been manufacturers finding the right team, building a team that you can grow with. And then the second challenging thing has been scaling, because it's unknown territory. So I think it's supposed to be a little scary, you know, because you're scaling.
Yeah, 100%. And could you share, and depending on how much detail you can share, can you share an example of maybe where you've had a challenge, maybe with a vendor, or you don't need to give any names, but just how you overcame that? Because as you said, you don't know, you go into these things, it all sounds great, you have these meetings, they show you everything, it all looks beautiful, the prices sounds great, and then it goes completely left. How do you overcome that, and what advice can you give to anyone to avoid, and some of the things you can do to kind of pinpoint potential pitfalls? I know that was kind of a long-winded question.
No, but I understand exactly what you're saying. And I feel like, yes, I have gone through those things. And as anyone's a small business, I will say, if you can, have everything in writing. And sometimes people will give you a pushback and you think it's okay, but it will save you in the long run. So that's my main advice, have things in writing. And yes, I've had situations where thousands of dollars worth of product came and the product was not what was agreed upon. And
so what do you do with that? In fact, let's talk about that. What do you do that, as you said, like, and did you have something in writing where if it doesn't come the way you want, you can get a refund, or they will completely replace it? How do you deal with? I would love to learn a bit more about that.
I think what saved me in the end was that I had a paper trail.
Good.
And to save a lot of time, I wish I would have had a stronger law-abiding contract in place to fully protect myself. But what helped me was that I did have I could backtrack to exactly what I ordered, exactly what the sample was, exactly what date, so that when, unfortunately, I had to go get a bigger team involved and protection, I had that. And I'm just learning that some of these things are going to happen in the beginning until you find the right team, and it can be as easy as a miscommunication. But if you have a paper trail and you're as organized as you can be, you'll have an advantage, because you can just know exactly where something went wrong versus if you don't have that information.
True. And talking about contracts, not everyone has the luxury to pay thousands of dollars to get a lawyer to put contracts together. And most people, when they start up, you kind of having to use templates or get someone that you know to help you do it for free. And how important do you think contracts are, and how do you know when to, okay, maybe I can use a template versus, okay, let's get someone to really look at this and do this properly?
I feel like I should ask you that. That's a really good question. I think it depends. You just have to be very honest with yourself, where you are as a business, as a company, where your reach is right now with your plan, with your business. And also protect yourself, right? So you can use something from a template, but also you can cross-check a few times. You can reach out like to the people you know in your group. Yes, they might not be a big shot lawyer, but you might have a friend who just might be happening to study law as well. You can send it to your network and ask your friends, what do you think of this contract? I'm thinking of doing this. And just find ways that are maybe a little more creative if you can't afford it to fully protect yourself.
True, very good point. And as a startup founder, one of the common things that I hear from founders is sometimes it feels lonely. No one really understands your struggles, challenges, when things go wrong, whether it's a deal collapsing, as you said, or issues with your products that you're about to launch. You told the whole world, everyone's excited, and you can't actually sell the products now because it's not up to standards. Or maybe a competitor copying you, you put in all this work, doing all this work, and then someone can just quickly just copy you. It's like, how do you deal with that? And because I don't actually have the answer, and I would love to know, because everyone deals with these things, and maybe if you can share maybe experience you've had and how you've overcome it.
It's interesting. I wish I had a black and white answer on how to deal with things, but no situation is the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there is.
But
not, yeah.
I feel like for being someone who, I haven't been in the business for that long, right? My company's only 2 years old. I think because of what I do. Yes, I launched in the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I think because I am someone who's in the light, who does social media, who does acting, people expect me to be able to deal with a lot of the big companies, which I'm still a small business no matter what. I can't. It's still mostly me doing this, figuring it out as I go. So I wish I could have an easy answer on how to deal with these things, but I have been someone who's been copied. I have had situations where even now, for example, we're about to launch a knit, and we've had tons of samples, things been perfect on this top. We got a few of them done. And then I went to open up one, and the logo that's supposed to be right here on the main thing on the top is literally on the side on the back. And now I have all of these. So each situation is different. I wish I knew, but I try to just breathe, and like also just focus on quality and standing for something as a brand. I try to just fully be authentic. One thing about Sincerely Ria, when you get a piece, you're getting a piece that time went into, a piece that is intentional, a piece that's going to make you feel good. And I try to focus on that because people will copy. Unfortunately, in the clothing business, we're not protected as much, right? Patent and stuff. It's not that easy to protect what you're making and creating. So I just try to focus on what I can as a brand, and that's bringing my audience quality product, making sure the packaging, everything they get matched is made with intention, and that the brand is authentic. I think that's all I can focus on. That. And when things happen, just take a step back and like focus on what I can and learn, and then go from there. Because I can't compete.
I love that, and that's the thing. What you just said is so true. Is that the reality is that we can't compete with shipping time. We can't compete in terms of a pricing. We're not gonna get the best margins. We can't order tens of thousands of units to get it at a great price. And I wouldn't use the word sadly, but I think the frustration is that consumers, they just want the product, and that's understandable. It's like they just want a product, and it's like you can give them the best of everything, and it's like, okay, there's certain things I can't sacrifice, and yes, it might take longer to receive your product, but it's gonna be the best because I'm putting my heart in this, and it's gonna be customized, it's gonna be personalized, rather than just be copy and paste. And
I think that's the word we're in now, where everyone is so used to microwave everything, down from product success to everything. Our attention span is so short, and as small businesses, sometimes we feel like, dang, okay, maybe I should be launching something every week. Like, it's so easy to get.
I know and it's like, oh, you're out of stock. I can't have hundreds of products. This is the thing, and actually that goes on to my.
It's so funny. I was like, you'll have so much stock of one thing, and then you out of stock of one thing. They're like, wait, and you're like,
when can you get it back? And I'm like, okay, so can you actually go into, because I love this conversation. Is there any examples of where maybe you would love this as an opportunity to share with the audience, where the real life versus online expectation, as I said, the examples could be with shipping times. They're like, I want next day delivery, or it has to have, it's like, we all try our best to be the best, but as you said, there's so many limitations when you're starting off and you don't have the resources. You might not have as much capital as your competitors. I don't know if there's any other examples you would like to also share.
It's interesting. I think one example would be when I first launched. I launched with a few styles, but there was 2 of them that really, really took off, and I wasn't prepped with it. And when it was out of stock for me, I was like, okay, well, it's gonna take this amount of time. And I didn't realize that if you're out of stock and you don't do it really fast, especially in the fashion industry, you're gonna see it online everywhere. And it was just something that I had to just still realize. Like, you just have to know, like, what is it? Like, I just have to know what's gonna sell better and just be able to guess, really be on point with, I know what's gonna sell. No, just know my audience, know what the audience wants, and not assume. So that was the lesson. And then the second thing has been things outside of my control, which I found very funny. It's been things with like shipping and shipping time we deal with. And it's so interesting because I think, like I said, people think we're a bigger brand than we are. So we'll get these emails with customers just frustrated. And then as soon as like we respond, we're like, well, actually, this is what's going on. They're like, oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We love you. By the way.
So funny enough, that's so funny. But that's also a great thing because it shows that you're a real person. You're not just someone on a computer, because there's a lot of automatic robotic responses that you can get on customer service, but the fact that you show, and that's the difference between you and someone else.
That is true.
And so that's
You're
great.
A real person.
You're a real person. Yeah.
Who cares? But it's been interesting, and I feel like people. Well, I think it's just interesting owning a business. Until you own a business.
Yeah, that's the key. And this is so fun. This is actually one of the reasons for this podcast. When I think about podcasts, business podcasts out there, I feel like I want us to dig deep into some of the things that people do not share, like behind the scenes, because we only see the end results most of the time. They see the awards, they see influential people wearing your products, but they don't see the stuff that you go through, the journey, the challenges. There's times I can imagine where you felt like maybe giving up and it's like, this is gonna work, and just calling it a night. And that's what I want to share, and I want you to share that because I know you work so hard and you've done so well to get it to where it is, because like honestly, you create beautiful products.
Thank you. I think for me, it's worth it. I love what I do. I love creating pieces. I'm always thinking of how I can explain experiences through clothing. I'm always inspired. I'm always like, oh, this one looks good, but like this as a blouse. I'm always changing my clothing. So I just love what I'm doing. And I think my advice to anyone is, if you find something you're passionate about, focus on creating quality products, something that you're proud of. And if you're working with that and you're working hard, it's gonna work out. Just gotta keep going.
That's a powerful message. I guess I've got one more key question I would like to ask Mariama. Now that I just said it's since 2020 during the pandemic, that's when you launched the brand. It's coming to 21, 22, so 2 years old. Yeah, 2.5 years. When you look back at your journey, what's one piece of advice? You have to give one piece of advice to a young person that was coming, or not even a young person, anyone that wants to start a brand. And you look back at what things you wish someone told you before you began. What's that one thing you wish someone told you before you started? That would have been helpful.
That's a good question. I think the one thing I wish I knew and used better was to network across. Before, I think but one of the main things I would say is to network across and use your resources. Ask the people you know their experiences. Ask more people to introduce you. Don't be scared. I think I was so scared to ask for help in the beginning and to be at the learning beginning stage. And I think if you're starting, it's important for you to fully reach out, because these people can save you years. They can save you headaches. They can save you money. So don't be afraid to just ask for advice, because it can change everything for you.
I love that. Honestly, that was great advice. Because as I said, sometimes you're reluctant, and whether it's pride or you think maybe assuming they might not want to help you, or you're whatever the reasons are, you can always say, at least ask. If they say no, at least you know you tried. That's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key. And I would love to end our show and episode by doing a quick rapid fire question. So it's for 1 minute.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you. Let's see how many questions you can get through. But it's 1 minute, and literally keep it short and sweet. It's like one word answers, or like a quick sentence. So let's go. Average daily sleep.
I'm sorry?
Your average daily sleep.
Well, this is sad, but like 4 hours, 5 hours lately.
Whoa.
I've been jet lagged though. I just came back from Africa. I've been traveling, so
cool. No, that's fair. That's fair. Favorite e-commerce platform, or the e-commerce platform that you use to build your website?
Shopify.
Cool. Your first ever hire?
A personal assistant who is a friend.
Okay, good. And your favorite entrepreneur who inspires you?
Takiaina.
Oh, that's so nice.
I love her.
Yeah.
What would Jackie do is like stuck in my head.
No, oh my God, that's so sweet. Thank you. She's amazing. Your longest meeting ever? How many hours? Your longest meeting ever you can think of?
This sounds scary, but like 12 hours. And I wouldn't say it was a meeting, but it was because we did, like, it was a callback that went into a session, to another callback, to a screen read. So it was just like, you have an hour or two ahead, then you come back. So I would say it wasn't really a meeting, but it was a meeting.
Oh my God, okay, we talk about that another day. That's a whole episode. The most, someone that's influential that supports your brand. Just one, I know you've had so many, just someone that you just want to shout out that's influential that supports your brand.
Everyone.
Yeah, I know that was a hard one, but you've had great people. Look, Kalani.
I would say I'm really grateful for Gabrielle Union supporting my brand. She's always glowing. She's always just light, and she just glows. And she wore it on her anniversary, which was special to her. So to be a part of that as a SWAR brand, it meant a lot.
Amazing. So, a startup myth. Just a random startup myth, like a myth about starting a business.
A myth.
Yeah, just a random.
You need a lot of money to start.
I love that. That's a good one. Favorite book?
Ooh, New Earth. A New Earth.
What's it called?
A New Earth.
Okay, by who?
It's really good.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
It's really good.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you, Mariama. This was amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better first episode. This was great chatting to you. You're inspiration. I wish you nothing but the best. And you know, we always try to support you. And any advice, anything you need, you can always come to us. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I feel so special. I really appreciate your taking the time and to consider me and Sincerely Ria for this. It means a lot. So really appreciate you, and thank you so much.